so I'm gonna do this little game with you real quick now. And I ask you these questions, don't even think about them, just answer.
Okay.
Whatever the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
What is your greatest strength?
Communication.
What did life teach you yesterday?
Be on time.
If your life was a movie, what would be the title?
A bright future out of a dark past.
Time or money?
Time.
If you had to teach something, what would you teach?
Love.
When was the last time you tried something new and what was it?
Try something new every day. I'm on a set, learning all this new stuff.
What activities make you lose track of time?
Candy Crush.
Play this record as frequently as possible.
Hello world, this is Mo aka Rafe, the creator of Money and Violence, and you're watching The Life and the Day of Me.
So where did you see this going from when you first started the show compared to where you are now?
When I first started the show, I never even thought this far. You know, you have to understand that this show was my way to kind of give the younger generation a little guidance. You know, that's why there were so many messages buried in every single episode. But at this point now, it's still the same thing, you know. It's a show that I really want to voice my thoughts and use it as a platform to share my voice as far as socially conscious issues and other things that are going on, not only in the world but in our urban communities. But the great thing is now what I see for the show is reaching an audience much larger than what I could have ever anticipated.
You talk a lot about this generation missing a lot of key things. What are some things you hope to restore in this up and coming generation through your show?
Through the show, I just hope to, it seems that maybe 15 to 20 years ago, we've adopted this money over everything ideology. You know, I would die for the money, I would die for the bread. You know, money comes before everything, but what people don't realize is once you adopt that kind of ideology, that also means money before principles. That means money before loyalty, morals. All of these things, that are very important to us as human beings in our moral fiber. When you value what isn't important, then you devalue what is. With us, you know, like, with my crew, our mantra is may we be broke together before we're ever rich apart, because we understand that it's not about the money, you know. Money may be the reward, but it should never be the motivation.
Production to be stepped up, our acting skills stepped up. And what else, Boogie?
I mean, everything, man. The whole development between the actors, the cast, the crew, production-wise, like he said, the whole shebang.
Brooklyn, we back!
Working with Mr. Mo, aka Rafe, aka the Mastermind, aka the head of the Voltron. It's been a lot. You would think it would be a lot much easier, being the fact that we have a production team, but the work ethic still remains the same. Still putting in that work as if we just started filming from day one.
You mentioned in an interview, one of the most amazing things is being able to sit back and watch the world get to know you. What responsibility do you now feel you have to everyone and those looking up to you after what you achieved this far?
I mean, I believe that, you know, it's funny because I'm a very private person, but I've come to learn that although I'm a very private person, I cannot use that as an excuse to do what it is that anything that I may feel, because now I'm somewhat in the public eye. You know, a lot of these young kids, they look up to what we're doing, and it's not enough for me to just prove to them that I can do it, but I need to set a positive example. Don't get me wrong, we're all flawed, nobody's perfect, and I'm not trying to be perfect. But at the end of the day, if what I put out there can be the difference between, a child having the influence to go the right path or the wrong one, then, I'm gonna do everything in my power. Because I see it this way, just as the person that I am in front of my child is who I need to be in front of everybody else's children. So I take that responsibility very seriously.
What are some eye-openers or jewels you've learned through your life experiences that help you become who you are today?
Jewels and eye-openers. I think one of the biggest jewels that I learned is that no matter how good you are to people, it doesn't mean they'll be good back. It doesn't mean that they'll be good to you. And that's just out of my past with those who I was close to, who I thought were close to me, and a lot of people have motives and agendas, and a lot of people, the only reason that they're around you is because you're beneficial at the moment. And sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow, and you have to go through things before these people expose their motives or expose who they are. So I've learned to be a very, very good judge of character and to read in between the lines and to see beyond people's words and really be able to read their actions, because no one ever really gives you the full picture of who they are. You actually see the truth in little moments where they give you glimpses, and you have to piece those together to really be able to tell, who's the true person that you're dealing with.
Now, I know you posted a pic a while ago of you and Ebro, and you mentioned that situation. So I just wanted to know, how does someone remain as focused while going through the death of their mother and still being able to shoot a scene with Ebro in the same day? Not many people can go through something that deep and,
I'm a very logical person, for one, and for two, a long time ago, I came to learn that the heart and mind exist totally independent of one another, and it's sort of like forever at war. That's why most times what you feel doesn't make sense, and when it came to the situation with my mom, I just made sense of it. At the end of the day, some people lose their parents at the young age of 5, 6, as adolescents. Some people lose their parents as teens. So for me, someone who had my mother till I was well into my late 30s, like, who am I? Who am I to feel like I'm being wronged, So rather than get down about it, I just chose to be grateful and to tell the Lord thank you for the amount of time that He did allow me to spend on this earth with my mother. And with that said, what's happening now is something that was pretty much a lifetime in the making. And my mother, she watched me try everything from music to clothing to the website to the media company. And I knew that at that moment, she would have wanted me to keep going, and the last thing that she would have wanted was for her to be the reason why I didn't. So, and you also have to remember that with this entire situation, I'm the captain of the ship. And it's funny because had it been anyone else in my cast, I would not have let them shoot that scene that day. But as the captain of the ship, it is my responsibility to make all the sacrifices, and it is my responsibility not even to set an example, but just to be the one that makes the sacrifices. I mean, the things that are impossible just to make everything happen. So, with that said, I could not see me faltering.
Everything that you go through in life, you seem like you learn from it, and don't let anything go by without either learning from it or noticing it. So how does one become that conscious?
I think it's just a constant pursuit to be better, because that's the whole thing with me. There is not a point that I could ever get to in life where I think that I know enough. Or I could think that I'm anything close to perfect. No, there's always going to be flaws. There's always going to be things that I can improve on. So because of that, I mean, that keeps me humble and that keeps me grounded no matter what, because I truly believe that I am not perfect and I will never be perfect. All I can do is strive to be better. So this is my day. It's a blessing though. Look to the sky every night and say, thank you, Lord. So you got to give me reaction. So I have a bridge from the time you say your first line to the time you say your next line.
I told Teddy that I was thinking we really need quotes from somebody. If we can get a quote from Jay, we can get all three of them.
What, we can get Billboard Magazine, New York Times?
Billboard, the New Yorker, and
New York Times?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'll work on that.
What are you motivated by? There we go.
My daughter.
Who actually plays your daughter
Yeah.
on screen as well?
Yeah. See my book? Don't wing it. With whatever money that we received, that basically went into the production of season 2. And I had no money to pay the cast.
Yeah.
I did not want the cast to work another season for free. So therefore, what I did was do the crowdfunding campaign, and that money was just put to the side to pay the cast for the second season. And this week is payday, so I have to bring the checks. Yes, the whole cast is being paid this season.
Nice.
Once again, progress. As a director, I tell my actors all the time, do your best to understand the situation. Once you understand the situation, then it will make sense to say what's in your line. A lot of times, especially with acting and delivering lines, the better you understand the situation, the better you can know how to deliver the line. So once you understand the situation, it'll all make sense. I do my best to not try to memorize lines, to just understand the situation, and it all comes to me. I want to teach the world how to love again. And when I say how to love again, it's how to love each other, how to love what we do, how to love art, because I believe that love is the only thing that can save this world, because this world is falling into the depths of hell, and we're forgetting how to love. And we're all becoming so damaged through our experiences that we have a warped sense of what love is, what most people think is love is not. And it's these very, 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 very small things. You know, the devil's always in the details. When it comes to truth, the devil's in the details. If you want to see if someone is putting up a facade or if someone is being genuine, you pay attention to the details. Because when someone tries to lie to you, or they try to fool you, or they try to con you, they focus on the big things. But if the details aren't there, that's how you can tell whether it's truth or not. That's how you can tell the difference between truth and fallacy. A lot of people overlook that. And that's the reason why, with Money and Violence, that was a huge part of the appeal too. It was just all the little things were there. You know, we didn't have the major production. We didn't have the polished, you know, the big cameras and things like that. But it was just all the little details that resonated with people, that people were able to relate to. You know, something as simple as the way that we talked or certain things that we did. Like, people were just like, wow, like, this is real. Yo, oh, what's up? This is Mr. Everybody.
Nice. Hey. Tell him to say that one more time.
Yo, say that one more time? Nah, go ahead, say it one more time. Nah, say it, go ahead, say it one more time. Say it one more time, you're on camera. It's not always about money, you know, that's how most people are blinded, and that's how most people are got. You know, with all the deals that I secured and that I decided to go along with, none of them were front end heavy, meaning that none of them were heavy on advances. Why? Because I was more concerned with residuals. I'm well aware that the more money I get on the front end, the less I'm going to get on the back end. You know, so you can give me $5 million today, and then that can cause me not to make money forever. You know, so I'd rather take nothing up front.
Right.
And give me 20%. perpetually, forever. You know, that's how you build wealth.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's what I can leave for my child. That's what I can leave for my children. Because my worst nightmare is to be 90, 95 years old, laying in a hospital bed, surrounded by my kids, you know, on my deathbed, and they're not financially secure, and a show that I created is playing on television and they're not seeing the red cent off of it.
Yeah.
So because of that, I can't be money motivated. You know, money is the reward, it's never the motivation. Too many people say, money makes the world go round. No, it does not. People's dreams do. It just so happens that we get money in the process of achieving our dreams. No matter what people tell you, no matter how tough things get, you need to always remember that the only human hands that can stop you are your own.